I just wanted to talk to you about Denis Villeneuve, and the report is that he is the top choice to direct Bond 26. So I want to stress that it is not confirmed in any way. I just want to discuss why I did report this as well, because most of the stuff reported by the tabloids I just ignored. This wasn't in the tabloids. This was a different source, and I think it's interesting because of the timing. So Denis Villeneuve, just as a reminder, he did Blade Runner 2049. He also did Dune, and he's got Dune Part 2 coming out, I think, later this year. So yeah, he's done a few other things, and so really, could this be true, or is it idle speculation? Because on one hand, he was talking to Eon about doing what eventually became No Time to Die. It didn't work out because he wanted to do Dune, which was his basically it was his life's ambition to direct that film. So from that point of view, you could say, well, it's just a bit of lazy reporting. He was in the mix for Bond 25. He turned it down, but I don't know if he was ever. I don't know if it was ever established if he's actually offered the gig, or whether they wanted to talk to him and he turned it down at that stage. I'm not sure about that. And the interesting thing, though, is that, as I said in a previous video, that if Barbara Broccoli can be taken at her word, and they're looking to start filming, or look seriously at the film in 2024, 2 years from 2022, when she was saying that, they should be looking for a director. And I would say that a director would be announced for the film late this year or early 2024. So I think it is interesting that people are talking about the director rather than, it's always the next actor. So from that point of view, it sounds a bit more credible than any of the actors who have been pushed by the tabloids. And I've seen, lots of people commented on social media saying, well, that only a handful of people know what's actually happened, and they're not going to let that out of the bag. But leaks do happen. There's the recent intelligence leak in the States, and you say, well, what would be the point of leaking this information? And ego's one of the big things. Things like Edward Snowden, he was a whistleblower. He didn't. He really wanted the intelligence that he shared out in the open. But the guy, 21-year-old, I don't remember his name at the moment, he did it basically to try and impress his friends by sharing secret information on a server. So ego is a big thing. And it's also things like Daniel Craig's mum. She was asked by a tabloid, probably she was doorstepped, but she told, I think it was probably a tabloid, that Daniel Craig was going to be Bond. I think it was probably the morning of the announcement or something like that. So people. The information does get shared, and you think it's in an enclosed way, but then it escapes, and you can't control that. So even though we're not close to an announcement on the Bond 26 director yet, it's there are always kind of ripples that indicate that something might be happening. And if you want to look at it a different way, you need to try and work out what might be true and what's obvious nonsense. And some obvious nonsense is the press in the UK, the tabloids are always fond of quoting the bookies and on who the next Bond actor is going to be. And bookies have no say in who's going to be James Bond. The bookies have no information. The bookies are there to make money, so they're there to take your money off you and pay out as little as they can. So they don't know. Yeah, and we're always hearing about someone or other is supposed to be the new Bond by the tabloids. Yeah, well, it never really works out. So recently there was somebody who I'd never heard of who's going to be the new M. That was clearly nonsense, because then she said that it was nonsense. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, we've heard that she is favourite to direct, despite she has no movie directing experience that I know of. So I think she's got theatre directing experience, but I don't know if she's even done television. Certainly she writes. Maybe she'll be involved in writing or as a consultant or something like that, but I just can't see that they would give a big budget movie to a complete novice. So, as I said, Villeneuve turned down No Time to Die to do Dune. He's on Eon's radar. As I said, I'm not sure if it's ever been made clear whether he was actually offered the job or whether he ruled himself out of the running at an earlier stage before they got to that stage. So he could be. On the other hand, it could just be wishful thinking. He has Dune 2 coming out, and then he is directing Cleopatra, according to IMDb. Will he have time for Bond 26 if that's the case? A lot of people are in favour of him doing Bond 26, but would he do a good job? I have no idea. I like Blade Runner and I like Dune, but I think they're both too long. Blade Runner was 2 hours 37, Dune 2 hours 35, so they're not quite as long as No Time to Die, but they're getting closer. I personally think a movie should be 2 hours 10, 2 hours 20, maximum per amount of time. There's a rubbish, so I'll probably mispronounce this. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. He was the author of The Little Prince. Perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. So bear that in mind. So yes, as far as I'm concerned, I think Villeneuve could be in the running. It doesn't mean he has got the job, and it doesn't even mean that he is being considered, but it's a possibility. They should be looking at directors right now, and I think we can expect a director to be announced late this year, early next. That's it. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget to follow this channel if you like. Okay, thanks a lot.